disobey them. And the Supreme Court is laying down the law, and yet these dumb fuck Democrat appointee judges continue to disobey the Supreme Court. Trump is winning in the courts. The problem is the Democrats are just gumming up the works every chance they can. So, that's reality.
Thank you, Alan. Let's go to, hold on.
Can I just say real quick, JB? I put the links in the chat. I was correct. It is Xi, Modi, and Putin. And every headline is that we should be very concerned these type bonds. Again, India and China are not. India has always been very much neutral on the global point.
Okay. Go ahead, Project.
Well, that was Dismal's always, but Dismal left, so I won't withdraw that statement. But while we have the Star Chamber and we're sort of solving all the world's problems, can we talk a little bit about Nancy Pelosi, right? Nancy Pelosi, who makes roughly $200,000 a year, has a gross worth of $400 million. I mean, really, she's outperforming all the hedge funds in the country. I mean, it's absolutely insane. I'm sorry. So somebody mentioned, I think it was you, JB, said exclude the border. What has the president done? What is his accomplishment? Oh, excuse me, if all he did was steal and secure the borders, I mean, I think it would be more consequential than damn near any president we've had in my lifetime. I mean, it's a huge victory. It's something he ran on, and we can't just excuse it. But if we need to have something else, how about the attack on Iran, who set back their nuclear program at least 3 years? Nobody talks about that. I remember when it was proposed, everybody thought, oh my God, we were doing World War III. Well, not a peep out of Iran. And so let's give the president credit for that. How about that?
So you want to close the borders? Well, the entire interior of the country burns down with inflation, racial relations. I mean, I can go on, but let's just worry about the border instead of what's going on inside our country. But I want to give Victoria a chance to push back.
Well, give me 5 seconds since you look. What did he do in D.C.? I mean, you have people slaughtering each other at an alarming rate. He sends a troop in, and look, at least people are not being slaughtered on the street. People can have enterprise and everything else. So he's securing our cities. Come on.
Okay, if you say so. If you say so. Victoria, go ahead, hon.
Thank you. First of all, Modi was not at the 80-year celebration parade that Xi Jinping hosted. He simply wasn't there. He was hosting a counterpart from Singapore at the time, and I just want to push back on that. Second, although there's indications and recent developments that they're moving closer, India has been far more severe in cutting ties with China and Chinese technology than the United States. It made moves far earlier. Second of all, they have a border dispute that has been ongoing so long that I actually met somebody who was in the Indian Army and actually used a stick because that was what they decided that there would be no weapons. That was like a compromise that had been reached, and used sticks to beat other Chinese soldiers. So the idea that they're somehow closing up, what you might be considering is India has always been an ally of Russia, and that it hasn't gone away, and that is probably going to be getting more. Sorry.
Dismal, did you read the links that I posted? My sources.
No, I didn't.
King, what are you more worried about, the national debt or the fact that your investment portfolio is now accessible to private equity? I mean, the entire economy, 40% of the economy is all borrowed.
Isn't it all connected? I mean, why should private equity get a bailout on my retirement.
Where's the
It's a bailout for all intents and purposes.
How is it a bailout?
Most of the portfolio in private equity is startups, and the startup companies when they go public, and IPOs and IPOs.
King, hold on a second. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna go to my financial guru, Ithiani. Ithiani, how you doing, bro?
Doing great. You?
Hey, day wake up is a good day for me. So what do you think about this conversation we're having? You want to chime in?
I do, man. Actually, just want to talk specifically to the private equity conversation. I understand the fear around private equity, but it's simply equity in private companies. And there's a lot of different types of private companies. There's literally companies around you who are doing great, making great cash flow. And private equity is literally saying, hey, the equity in my business, people can actually invest it into their retirement assets. I don't need to go public first. I can sell it directly to you through like an intermediary, an advisor like me, or some companies can package it up. Now, there's some terrible people just like the world. There's good people, there's bad people. There's people doing good business and doing bad business. If a company comes in and gobbles up your neighborhood and tears it down, well, that's bad practice. That's bad practices. It doesn't necessarily reflect on like the entire concept of private equity. So we should actually be grateful or at least appreciative for that executive order because it opens up opportunities even for small communities, right?
So can I read this real quick? I just posted a link in the chat. Private equity wants your retirement nest egg, and it basically states that the private equity industry is underperforming, cannot exit its investments, and cannot return much actual cash to its institutional investors, in large part because the industry since 2022 has consistently overvalued their portfolio companies. Private equity investors are clamoring for cash, and the 401ks and IRAs look like just the perfect bailout for the PE billionaires. So I continue to post more resources because, people are obsessed with Epstein and all this fucking bullshit. There's a lot other things going on that people need to be paying attention to that have real material impacts on their futures.
All right, guys, go popcorn style. Go ahead, Ethan.
We don't have to allow other people's stories to impact, because it's the law, right? It's widespreading, right? Because some companies are failing, like think local. The real estate in I don't know what city you're in, but essentially people can start investing their future if they love a city, and there's a private equity offering in their city, their community, like community centers or whatever, they can literally issue shares, especially now with crypto and whatever, they can literally tokenize their shares as private equity. It's not listed, it's not a public company yet, but people can literally invest in new ways. It opens up new opportunities. You're worried about the legacy companies, the big companies, but I think don't attach yourself to that story in particular. There are some bad actors, but this is America. Each state is different. Each company is different. It's just a matter of perspective, right?
Well, I gotta be honest. I always speak for myself. No smoke with King, but I'm more interested in Epstein files. I want to know if our president's a pedophile.
You already know that. You already know.
We know he is. Nobody knows that.
This is not the first time. This is not the first time he's been accused.
Stir in the pot.
Basically admitted sexual assault before he was elected the first time. Y'all didn't give a fuck.
No, he did not.
Grab him by the pussy? Is that not a description of sexual assault?
He said they like you. He didn't say
sound like he asked.
He was He did have a civil trial. There were definitely lots of facts that were provided for voters to peruse if they wanted to. A lot of his voters decided that they didn't care.
A civil trial in which...
celebrity. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good.
So, in any case, JB, we all have priorities.
The judge said...
I would love to be able to retire, and I've worked hard to accumulate, to save, and I don't appreciate the fact that this person, like, with no checks and balances, can just fuck over my shit.
Wait, and just hold up really fast, because you left out part of that quote, Norm, because right before he says they let you do it, he says this: I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
They let you.
Wait.
They let you.
So no. He's again. Look at what's being said. It says I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just kiss. I don't even wait. Meaning he salted there. And then it says, when I'm a star, they let you do it.
The girls in the Miss Teen USA pageant literally said he felt he was creepy, and it just felt very weird. And they were not comfortable. So the idea that they, quote unquote, let you or whatever, that's bullshit. We all know what creepy uncle looks like. We've all dealt with creepy uncle.
If you don't like creepy uncle, don't go hang with creepy uncle.
Hold on a second. Hold on. I really tried with you, Victoria, but your mic is super loud tonight, and you just don't want to have any mic decorum. I don't know what's going on with you. You're more than welcome to come back up, but I'm on a one mic policy. Yeah, Norm.
No, I don't have anything. He said that they allowed him to do it. They let you is consent. That's number one. Number two, people get accused of things all the time. To assume that an accusation is a conviction or is indicative of guilt is really absurd. And I think it says more about...
Where's Bongino? Where's Bongino? I need somebody to check in with Bongino. Like, where the hell is he?
Okay.
Has he disappeared?
Why are you interrupting like changing the subject?
Because he was the one who was the loudest about his reservations of hiding what was discovered, and we haven't seen him since. Bongino, the assistant to what's the wild name?
You interrupted. What did he discover?
Go ahead.
So what did he discover, King? Nothing.
He did not want to cover up for the administration when they backpedaled on releasing the files.
If there's a crime, then the crime should be prosecuted. If there's no crime, then you don't release a whole bunch of files with people's names in them that have done nothing wrong, because it hurts them. That's a fundamental precept of justice. Okay? So we have an attorney general. The attorney general looks through the files and see if there's probable cause to make a prosecution that a crime has been committed. This is not complicated. This is not complicated. So if you like the gossip column and you want to see who's in there and who was on the plane, that's your business. But it's not the obligation of the Justice Department to feed your appetite for gossip.
Norman, hold on a second. Let me just say this.
Yeah.
She is right, though. When Bongino came out, who's the assistant director of the FBI, and he said, release these files unredacted, all of a sudden, after he came out and said all this, you don't hear from this man anymore. And being silenced, I believe, is real.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
What are we talking about?
I mean, you guys understand, like, FC, listen, you ran Victoria's Secrets. So there's something here is, obviously, there's a lot of rich and powerful people involved. And then there's rich and powerful people involved. Things get complicated. They have power. They can slow things down, delay things. Like, it's the world. Like, you're acting like it's literally reality. It's, whether it's the United States or anywhere else in the world, it works in the same way. This just tells you the level at which this stuff is at, right? And also, really quick, what's being described
was assault. Consent by perpetrator, like Victoria said, is ridiculous because it's the same notion. Lauren, please let me finish a fucking sentence. When you have an analogous situation, for example, if you smack a girl's ass, etc., it's the one that insults you all the time. Fucking, you smack a girl's ass, but if you're hot enough, it's fine. They won't do anything about it. They'll probably laugh and giggle, etc., and all that shit. That doesn't, just because they laughed and just because they giggled, etc., doesn't negate the fact that what just happened, the action that was sexual assault, which is slapping that person's ass unconsensually. In the same way that they says, I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just kiss. I don't even wait. And then he adds, and when you're a star, they let you do it. It's not that fucking difficult to understand.
You're making a very, very ignorant analogy that has no application.
Yeah, Norm, I got this, if you'll let me go. As someone who worked in the entertainment business over 40 years now, what Trump described is 100% accurate, and it is 100% not assault. They let you. Period. And to describe it as anything other than consensual is a lie. And when the actresses or people like that come back 10 years later and say, oh, I don't know, I felt creepy and violated, it's because they're trying to save their own reputation. And they're trying
from his
to
own
live.
mouth. Just kiss. I don't even wait. That's him saying he's not waiting for consent. Out of his own fucking mouth. Not what he said.
They're trying to save their reputation because everyone knows they were whoring themselves out for
You're telling me that Trump was there to support out
Epstein. That is separate from what happened with Epstein.
So wait. No, I'm asking.
Trump
Was he
has nothing to do with Trump. Thank you.
It's all right.
So I was going to say,
later. You can see your buddy Weinstein in a minute.
So real quick, guys, this needed use of consent. Like, we just need to wait for them to die in 10 years and just call it.
I think you'll be
let me respond to this, mother. 75, 80. And that's the difference between you and me.
Great. It's not
I don't wish you ill will. If you don't like Alex, that's the type of person you are. I'm sorry that your father didn't love you more and you turned out gay, or that your mother abused you, or maybe your father sold you and that's why you became gay. I really
that's why you
wish for a group of people
so
to die. It just shows how you're right. We did fail because we
You're just
more
managing
the
the brain of it.
Hold on a second, gentlemen. Hold on a second. I don't know why we're not attacking the point and we're attacking the person. Can we dial down the temperature a little bit?
Sure. I was just going to say, Alan, if you're mad because I say older people have poor predatory tendencies, that's a personal problem. This is not a personal attack against you. You getting wild up and going down this tangent about me being a fag is so weird because it just shows that it obviously upset you. And that I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean to upset you. I'm just talking about these mentalities where it's okay for someone to be predatory.
Well, I'd like to answer your question, Pepe. So sometimes I think maybe I'm the most annoying person because so many people, fight back against me. They clip my accounts. I've had, over 30 accounts clipped. You've probably had equal number of accounts clipped, if not even more. I'm going to submit that Slippers is probably one of the most annoying speakers on this app, but also because he takes that extra step to spend all his time trying to get your accounts clipped. So I would submit him as a top runner, maybe top 5. Let me think of some of the other top 4 for you, because I know you need some content.
He spent all this time to get my accounts clipped.
Well, he has spent an incredible amount of time getting my Instagrams clipped, my Clown House accounts clipped, and if you've ever heard him, go off, he's a pretty insanely toxic person. For example, he was screaming at the top of his lungs that trans shooters are not the problem. It's young white men. Yeah, it's young white men that are the problem. 80% of all shootings. And I said, post the receipt. Let's see the link to see that data. He posted a paywall. We finally get the real numbers. And guess what? It's only 50% of shooters who are white. And there's a lot more data than that they're suicidal, that they have a history of violence, and that their average median age is 34. So, there's just a lot of screamers on this app who want attention. They wear slippers. They think they slide around on the ground like their shit don't stink. But the truth is, they're the most annoying people on this app.
I can agree. I mean, I can think of many people. My name's Monica. There was, I was in a space earlier and some women were joking about it. Like, what is it like having sex with her? Keep on moving.
That's a little bit, the thing is, they have their little safe space. Let them have their little safe space. You don't have to mock an obese woman who has no sex life, but maybe she had a sex life at one time. But the question is, who is the most annoying? Now, I gotta admit, it could be me. It could be you, but we don't know for sure because it's subjective.
Well, okay, so like the other day, somebody was attacking me. He's like, you're using the N-word again. And it's not cool. What N-word? Monica came into the room. Monica came into the room. What is the N-word? What N-word do you use? She's like, that's 500. What is the N-word? What is the N-word you're talking about? The one with the hard R. The one with the hard R. You have to say it. I don't know what you're saying. What the fuck do you have the replays on? Let me take
I don't know why you're acting like you didn't just drop the hard ER like 50 fucking times and ran.
Some replay!
Yeah, why are you just sitting here criticizing Pepe when I just heard you like talk about
I'm waiting, Pepe. Do I need to guide you? All right, there you go. Yeah, so this guy was like, oh, you're saying nigger. You're hanging around the wrong crowd because you're saying nigger. And then Monica came up and she's like, so what if he said nigger? Monica did that? Yeah, Monica actually came up and she's like, so what if he said nigger? And yeah, she fended the guy off. She's like, there's nothing wrong with the word nigger. I guess she is redeemable. Maybe Monica isn't one of the most annoying people on the app. Well, I would say there is a woman named Rena who I think is super annoying. I think she's nothing but a house plant. She just sits on a stage, and then she will say something bitchy, and then maybe kick you out of a room. That's all she's good for. Absolutely nothing. MG is one of them. MG also house plant. Monica, I was going to punch down on her today, but maybe not. Adams, the Catholic that says he's not gay, but he's a flaming faggot. He's a faggot. Yes, and today he's becoming he's super woke. Justice word. White males are the most dangerous demographic with guns. They can't have them. Okay, so what an opportunistic moment. We have this room running, and we literally have the most annoying person on Clubhouse, Willow, right here. Okay. Well, she gets to say who's the most annoying too. So, but try to wrap it up so we can. A bunch of people came on the stage.
This Buttercup is the most annoying.
Okay, so it's an extremely disgusting, cringe person, right? Comes on here and whines about her boyfriend beating up on her and needing a place to stay. And then somebody I know on Clubhouse actually offered her money. She's like, hey, take this.
And then she blocked me 5 minutes later. So she told me it was this.
She's like, buy yourself a motel room. I'm sorry, your boyfriend's beating up on you, right? And then this girl Willow, what she does. She starts a room about this person the next day, and what a bitch this person is. Well, you didn't start the room. Okay, you didn't start the room. Guys, this isn't the room that we're going to start drama. Hi, Nikki. Who would you say is the most annoying person on this app?
Well, yes, I absolutely concur about Rena. It's not even that she's the most annoying. She's just useless. There's no purpose to her being on this app. Because in any room she's in and gets modded, she plays Little Miss Helpless fucking ugly bird. And then you have other people that have to be Captain Save-A-Ho. And yeah. And then there's Buttercup. Buttercup is the new annoying.
I just want to break that fucking girl's neck. If any of y'all know Buttercup, oh, good lord.
What's it do?
You just don't understand. We've all been lied to about Zionism. It's the Zionist narrative, which is a lie. You've been fooled, Nikki. We can't live with this. This is terrorism. We're the baddies.
Amazing. Josh, I saw you were about to say something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why don't you like Buttercup? Because she doesn't agree with your Jewish narrative. Your version of your Jewish narrative.
No, because she's not intelligent. She cannot carry on a conversation. She cannot answer a straight question. I could go on.
She seems to know the Torah and Tanakh. She seems to know the Torah and Tanakh much better than everyone in BB's room.
It's not about that. She can't stay on fucking point. She can't answer questions. She starts crying about how everybody's ganging up on her. When she's a mod in rooms, I don't even
She's
know.
a narcissist.
I don't know why anybody mods her. She throws everybody down to the audience. She's fucked.
Yeah, he's rude, but he's very cool. Like when we're not talking about like Israel and Palestine, he's actually kind of cool.
I know, but I'm Jewish, so he can't talk to me about anything other than Israel or that. I don't know. He just looks at us. It's weird. So there's a category for those as well.
I don't know. I just make shit up, and I don't know. I'm just inconsistent. I can't really engage in any discussion on an intellectual level, so I lose my cool and I start talking shit about everybody. I get it. Got it.
Yeah, but then when you start Indians and the Zayos, the evil Zayos, they team up against the Muzzies, and you can't bring. I don't want this to be one of those cases.
I bring in the Indians, like wondering if he's Indian. No, same shit.
Wrong place.
Literally same shit.
Well, Mikhail, who do you think is the most annoying person on Clubhouse?
Norm.
Norm is the most annoying person to debate with. I actually cringe, not even because I'll necessarily disagree with them, but like you have I have to moderate him, and it's just like I'll have to mute. I'm like Norm, I'll let you speak after him. Norm, and then he gets on.
It's kind of masochistic, though, to engage with people that you find.
People popping pimples and shit. And for me, it's like I have like OCD and ADHD inside. Maybe it has something to do with it, but I like think it's super cool to watch. And it's like, oh my god, it looks. I don't know what it is.
Ew.
I know.
Why?
That's what my ex would say. She'd be like, oh my god, that's disgusting. Why would you watch this? And
Eric proposed one person. He will go into rooms that are not dedicated to replays, and so he is booking the
Rooms aren't dedicated to replays, Dismal.
His own state.
let her finish. Do you know what Dismal he did say when he came in? He did admit that he was likely going to be one of the people that people would find the most unpopular on Clubhouse.
Yeah, I think he and
big black bone bitch, fuck you, like it's amazing. He does that. He sounds like a ratchet black woman.
He's gay.
He's dating
Facto. No, he's actually not gay. Dude, we talked to him. He's been telling us I'm not gay.
Everyone else, like, I can actually like see them in other rooms, and I can like find like good parts of them, even if I don't like agree with them. I'm still able to like speak good.
What about that girl that always say, "Yeah, Dad"?
Oh yeah. Big one, bitch.
What is her deal? Why does she do that? I don't understand this.
She's goofy. She's been doing that for 3 years.
I know, and that's why I'm like, dude, I get it.
Oh,
yeah. A few days. That's why.
Big one. You could win a prize.
Monica was somebody I was gonna say, and this is kind of why I make fun of her, is that she's like, guys, let's talk about BLM, and let's talk about blacks, and how these leaders, blacks, they can, people, they just don't know how to behave. They weren't raised right. Like she's like the most like.
she like blurs the line so much between like a fucking white supremacist and somebody who just brings up these stupid like PragerU and Jordan B. Peterson videos. And you know, to me, I always thought it was like super funny. It's like, dude, just come around the fence with it, bitch. Just like say it how you mean it.
Let's admit that the reason it's so annoying is because it's such a waste of your time to even listen to it. It makes it extra annoying.
You're a waste of time. You come up on every stage pretty much, start fucking yapping in the
You're projecting!
Right.
You're projecting!
The most nail-cringing sound you could ever possibly conceive of. This guy will start blurting if you're in a room and just like out loud.
But he doesn't
to the stage. Like, good luck. If he's not, isn't paying attention, good luck. You're done. The room is done.
Mikhail, he did admit to this, and he's somebody.
You sound like you have a horn on your nose, sir. Go get a rhinoplasty so you can sound normal, Mikhail.
Again, I can't respond to the point.
I mean, I have to say, I've seen pictures of Mikhail, and you know, my nose is probably a little bit bigger than yours. You know, John.
As bad as Norm.
Okay. Yeah, no. You sand roosters are not going to destroy my fucking room over your tribal Middle Eastern bullshit.
You're giving him a compliment.
Yeah, that's kind of where a lot of them are from.
I want to point out that I'm leading in the poll for being the most annoying person, and I'm not faggot. Pretending to be a black woman is me. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. It's as ridiculous as Dr. Articulate.
Dr. Articulate point. So, you know what? Dr. Articulate and maybe.
Okay.
Like, Jesus Christ, why is this fucking Curry shitting Jeep? Jesus Christ, it's not your room.
Right.
Jesus Christ, it's not your room.
Right.
I know it's not my room,
John,
but
I'm trying not to kick you off the stage.
Acting like you're running.
I'm one of the most annoying people. I'm in the survey.
Your voice is very annoying.
Okay, hold on a second. Hand raising. Okay, everybody can raise their hand. So now I can kick people off stages because it's getting really fucking annoying. Like, holy goddamn shit. But I mean, if we look at like the dark side of the app, I would say there's like people. Mon's in here. She probably doesn't want me to say the names, but there's people that I would say are super annoying. Some of them may live in Cleveland and be living under Section 8.
No.
Automatically, BHI is annoying and cringe as fuck. That's an automatic.
Who lives in Cleveland under Section 8? Who lives in Cleveland?
Nobody.
Jazzy is annoying as fuck.
She's very annoying. Jazzy's annoying. I mean, I have pictures of her that have been forwarded to me. I got lots of laughs to be had. She's a chocolate bun. No respect one.
You know, the guys that Jazzy used to hook up with on Facebook were fat as fuck. Like, she showed
Who
us.
else would fuck that bitch?
Not too much on Jazzy now.
Guys, take it slow. Yeah, I just got done watching my PragerU video. I'm so turned on. Yeah.
Somebody kick Pepe.
Dig into. Okay. All right. I was trying. Amazing.
How long can you hear to that pitch before you just lose your mind?
Right? I was watching a PragerU video. I'm so turned on. Yeah, that's right, Brad. Keep on. Yeah. Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Maybe that's Mon.
Why don't you try to move it around a little bit more? Yeah. Huh?
I mean, it's probably Monica having sex. Like, I figured that's what she's talking about. Monica.
So Jazzy is definitely more annoying than Willow, but Willow is way more disgusting than Jazzy. That's, I think we need a whole new category for disgust.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of it. There's MG. Like, let's look at MG. I mean, let's look at this whore. I mean, she's also houseplant, kind of like Rena. She says nothing of substance, but, you know, I have the clips. She likes to call black women darkest slaves. Darkest slave.
Yeah, but
I have the
most
clips.
Ethiopian.
But hold on. She's not European. She's like Ethiopian. And she's like, oh my God, we're the prettiest. No, you're not. You guys are still 5-headed, disgusting looking creatures. I'm just being honest with you guys. Like, diseased people, like, I mean, fuck, I've never seen a buff like Somal or Ethiopian, and I've never seen like an Ethiopian with a shapely body. They just look gross.
Well, I haven't seen a lot of Ethiopians though.
I have, unfortunately. I mean, sure, in America they might get fat, but not like they don't fill out like West
Africans. Not in America, but no, Ethiopians are pretty diverse. They're pretty big, man. They can be pretty tough.
And they're not diverse in the forehead. They're not diverse in the 5 head.
So, yeah, I don't know, but like all she does is just like cheerlead from the sidelines, and you know she has like 6, 7, 8, you know, fucking filters on her pictures, and to make herself look. What's really weird, she tries to make herself look way whiter than she actually is. I know what she looks like.
Yeah, there's no diversity.
And there's people that like, there's people.
Episode where he got shot and was brought to the hospital. I can't remember the actor's name, but no, Kevin Spacey was not.
People, and I was like, I haven't seen Wata in a while.
Well, here I am, brother.
Well, there he is in the flesh.
Live and direct.
Live on a phone.
There you go.
All right, AJ and Mojo, you got 5 seconds to get up here. You got 5 seconds to get up here. I'm gonna kick you.
Fucking rain delay.
Okay, Jay. Oh yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
You got 5 seconds to unmute your mic and say why the fuck you wanted me to kick you. You gonna kick me out of your motherfucking room, Tony.
Sure is, bitch ass nigga. Now you wanna talk, pussy? You was down there for 5 minutes doing what?
I'm down there for 5 seconds, Tony. 5 motherfucking seconds.
You were down there playing with that click. Fuck your bitch ass nigga. You's a hoe.
Sheesh. Shit, I didn't know.
The usual.
Where'd everybody go?
Tony packing people up.
Yeah, the usual.
The usual.
I need them to go pack and sending them off. I booked the commercial, so he wanted me to say that I booked the commercial and that.
An hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, one of my good friends that I grew up with lived in Athens. He's a musician, and
It's a college town.
He lived in the house that the B-52s lived in.
Oh, that's cool.
They have they put a sidewalk in, and they all put their handprints in the sidewalk, and he lived in their house. And he's a
God made me Indian, I'll fucking kill myself.
I get reparations. You don't get reparations.
That is from what? From who?
I get reparations. You don't get any.
From the U.S. government?
That's right.
Okay, name it.
It's coming up.
I thought you said you're. I thought you. Wait. You just said you got reparations.
I'm getting reparations.
Okay, so that's that Indian IQ on standby. There we go. I can tell, bro. Just shut the fuck up, bro.
What are you getting reparations?
There's no way. Yo, Ali Robert, shut the fuck up. I'm talking to you, bro.
Foundational black.
Foundational black American bitch. You know what time it is. Yeah, you know what time it is. Yeah, okay, cool. It's never happening. I don't give a fuck. I make something for myself, bitch. Like what? Yeah, the fuck? So now that you...
If you want to. Well, I'm just saying, according to every major medical association,
justification of voting for Donald Trump because you hate immigrants, because you hated immigrants, and he got rid of the immigrants, but he didn't get rid of his family. What the fuck? Like, there's all this contradictions. I understand.
I get it. But what I'm saying is, they are not coming here and trying to make me speak their language. They're not doing like that. I work in the polling booth. I don't see white folks who parents came from Germany or Europe coming in my polling booth and demanding them to
you probably live in segregated areas.
Because that literally happened to me. This woman called the news on my voting precinct and said, because we didn't have Spanish voting stickers that said "Yo vote pay." In DeKalb County, Georgia, a predominantly Black American English-speaking county, and this Spanish lady called the news up there because we didn't have Spanish voting stickers. I got asked the other day by a Muslim from Africa, why am I still a Christian? And I know that white people beat this religion into us. The other day, a Muslim immigrant, I'm like, bro, I'm Christian. I understand how that thing went down. You know, that's not for me to talk to you about. Why are you a Muslim? That's Abrahamic as well. And so this is what we're dealing with. I'm not going to keep allowing folks from other countries to come in here and talk shit about my heritage. As fucked up as the history is, we Black American, King, and I have to be that first because I don't want to leave this motherfucker. I do like it even with all the books. And I do want my kids to thrive and have my kids and not have to learn another language to be successful. I land. Thank you.
So you hear me? That's the real Democrat. That is exactly. Sorry, I don't mean to talk over.
Hold on, Sean. I think wanted to respond first, and then Sean, you got it, and then Project. Go ahead, Pete.
Once they're done trampling with the Constitution, this won't even be the America that you've experienced in your lifetime. Okay? So we have to understand what America is and what it would be without the goddamn Constitution and the Bill of Rights and checks and balances and all of those safety measures that protected us from dictators and fucking tyrants. Presidents don't rule by edict. Hey, if you want to fundamentally change this country into a monarchy because you don't like people who want shit in their language, who are multilingual, God bless them. I'm very envious. I wish I spoke more than one language.
His own business interests while in office. I mean, up to now, if the people separate their personal business from the presidency, and it seems as though all those norms are gone out of the window.
Let me push back real quick, and I promise I'll keep it less than 30 seconds. I think the same thing can be said about lots of other presidents, including the most recent past president, Joe Biden. How many days was he spending on vacation and not in the White House? That would be one example. Another example would be how about Nancy Pelosi and the advantage she has on the stock market, doing better than some of the best out there because of insider trading. Yet, you have other people who insider traded for change. Martha Stewart, great example, right? When she spent some bit of time.
We totally agree that Congress should be trading stocks. We agree with you on that.
Yeah, totally.
So, you get an argument from me, my friend.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you. No, I definitely see. Now I was way more left than I definitely was much more of a straight ticket Democratic voter. And of course, I will share that real quick, because my mom was a retired school teacher in the elementary school for 37 years, and my dad worked for mental health for Santa Barbara County. And both of my parents obviously leaned more towards democratic values because that typically the party stands for that. So I definitely was a product of my parents, and definitely until I got older, owned my own business, started to see things, look at things a little deeper and read a little more into things. But I think it's difficult to get true information. I think that's the call to action that all of us should be demanding, is truthful before you publish it. Really have truthful stuff before you put it out there, because people read the first news, not the second news that comes back later saying, oh, we were wrong. Everyone remembers the first news that comes on. We make our judgments before we do our research on things, and I just would like all of us to do better at that. I mean, including myself. But yeah, I gotta go, but I hope you have a good evening. It's so good to see you, Haroon. I've been missing you, and look forward to hearing about your trip. I'll talk to you later. Talk to you everyone later. Love you all. Thank you.
Sean, before you go, where are you on stage? I hear your voice. I don't see you. Which one are you?
Right next to you on stage.
What?
No, I'm diagonal. Yeah. He's right beside. I look like something. Yeah, I look like something from a cost-color commercial from the 90s. Look to your right. Literally, take a picture and look beside.
Leave the room and come back. I don't think you're here. I don't see it. But anyway, I agree with that. It was so refreshing to hear you and be. Imagine the hubris, right? Me being in Mexico and demanding a sticker to vote in the Mexican election that says I voted. I mean, it's unheard of. Nobody does this with the United States. And King, I mean, I love you. I think you're a terrific lady. But for you to suggest that we don't have a right to secure our borders, I mean, who the hell, what country believes that? Of course we have a right. We have an absolute right. In fact, we have an obligation to do it, right? We need to know who's coming in here. It's just absurd for anyone to suggest in any level that we should just allow people just to walk across our borders. We just can't do it. And this president is putting an end to it. Not only that, the people that shouldn't be here, you can't get rid of all of them, but he's getting rid of as many as he can. And you know something? People who did it the right way, they applaud this action. They love to see it because they fled tyranny. They fled despotism to come to this great country. And they don't want that nonsense to follow them. So they agree with us.
They agreed with you until they started snatching their kids out from school.
True.
So we are not simple thinkers. And I never said anything about open borders. I never said that.
You alluded to it.
No, I'm saying that hate. What I know is that hate is a powerful motivator. Hate for other people.
What you said, with all due respect, King, what you said was there are people who in this country who are illegal and they have children, and you went on and on and on talking about how we should accept that. That's alluding to something.
I never said that. I'm sorry.
You said almost exactly that.
Well, let me interrupt. I'd like to get put in the queue, moderators.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, this is something I saw on X. It says, a country run by banks will always be in debt. Healthcare run by big pharma will never cure disease. A state run by war will never know peace. A nation run by media will never know the truth.
Well, that last part is so true. A nation run by media will never know the truth. Who was that? MJ? Go ahead, MJ.
1 second. So yeah, listen, the immigration thing, this country's not going to survive without immigrants at all. It's going to go down the fucking tubes. Economically, never going to happen. And people who study economics know this. So the thing is, people want to find a real solution, a real process that actually works. You can't control, the United States cannot control its borders. If the United States can control the borders, we wouldn't have a drug problem, right? But we have a failing drug war that's been failing for the past 70, almost 100 years, man. Let's keep it real. So, in this situation, you have no control over the territory that you call a border. You're going to have a process by which people who get over, right, are going to, find a way to integrate into society, because you're not going to be able to deport them all. You have to have a level of common sense
we're making these decisions and making these policies, and this is why they win you over on silly policy that they'll never be able to implement. They'll never be able to deport all of these illegals. They'll never do it. 4 years, 8 years, 12 years, it'll never fucking happen. I guarantee it. So, do you really want a solution to the process problem, or do you want to let them leverage this issue for rhetoric forever, never solve it, and we just ping pong between people selling this dreams? That's the real question.
That's a different amount used to say years ago. It's a bunch of dream sellers, as you put it. They're selling the dream of eliminating illegal, unauthorized entry and illegal immigration. Listen, any sane person would say, of course, the borders need to be secure. Of course, we need to interdict drugs and stop drugs, from porous borders. That goes without saying, and we'll say it, just to be clear. And at the same time, there is a process for legal immigration, and it needs to be revised. And we do have laws that say people have a right to present themselves at the border and to seek asylum. And then there's a process to make a determination whether or not their claim is valid or invalid. But to shut down the whole process, I think it doesn't serve, in my humble view, the best interest of this country.
It's not a solution.
Because we are a nation of immigrants.
It's a non-solution. So if somebody's presenting you a non-solution and you're going for it because it makes you feel good, it's very different than somebody actually solving for the problem of undocumented people in the country.
But politicians don't want to solve it. That's kind of the point. Either I'm mishearing. That's what I'm hearing you say. You may not be saying that. I may be misinterpreting. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
So they don't want to solve the problem because just like pharmaceutical companies, they don't want to solve disease.
They don't want to solve addiction. They don't want to solve that problem
because the profit is in the comeback, as they say. You come back for more. If you solve it, then that's the end of it. Now you go on and
lose a budget allocation if addiction goes away tomorrow. Let's talk Turkey. How many people lose millions if addiction gets solved for? That's a problem. That's a fucking problem. Because it's addiction addiction, mental illness, all these problems. These are the problems that are making Americans unproductive. It's the reason why an immigrant can come here and run laps because they don't have that particular problem in their country. But people don't want to address the cancers of America. They just want to slap pretty Band-Aids on it and get elected. Shit is crazy, bro.
It's professional can kicking. The country is literally completely broke at $37 trillion, but we're not insolvent because of the Federal Reserve. We're the world currency, but, it's immoral what we're doing. It's unethical. It's not a fair bargain for the citizens. And it's your Congress people, it's your congressperson and your senator, which continually passes acts in the $1 to $2 trillion range, creates plandemics, scandemics, and lies to you through their fucking teeth and screams about it. Senator Warren, Senator Sanders, Warnock, they're all fucking degenerate, scum-sucking pieces of shit, and they keep getting elected, and it's stupid people in this game. It's all these winners in Congress and the Senate that have $30 million in their campaign checking accounts that are literally beating you over the head with spam, propaganda, and lies.
Thank you, John. Justin, I saw you coming off the mic. Were you trying to say something? All right, guys. Well, I said I was going to shut it down in 30 minutes, and we're nearing that time. So in about 4 minutes, I'm going to shut it down. If there are no, okay, go ahead, Double A.
I was away for a bit and I had bad signal. I missed the one. I wanted to respond to a previous speaker. When I hear people talk about, it can't be, immigration system just can't be fixed, so we have to just capitulate to people who criminally, really, there's nothing you can do to stop crime. And then there's this weird gymnastics of like, maybe the crime is going down, but it's not going to stay down. It'll go back up as soon as the troops leave, which is, to me, just an argument of, so how do we, now that we've gotten crime down, but in a century, we haven't offered any viable solution to actually fixing them ourselves or through the politicians within the United States. And I've been to places that are much better than the United States. And I can tell you, it is possible for the United States to be a much better place. But the same playbook we've been doing the last century isn't going to get us there. Thank you very much.
What countries are better? Wow, which dimension?
What
did you notice that was better? Let's start there. What did you notice that was just so much better than the United States?
Well, for instance, when I was in Japan recently, not only are things incredibly clean everywhere, but I saw themselves unaccompanied by a parent across the city of 20 million people, knowing how to use the metro system, knowing how to get around, and there was no one at all concerned that these kids would be abducted, that there would be bad influences on these kids, that they would be harmed in any possible way, either physically or psychically, doing this every single day of their life. And that is not possible in any dense metropolitan area in the United States.
Did you see military on the streets? Is that why they were so safe?
I can tell you, if they had 1/10 or even 1/50th the level of crime that we have in the United States, they would have troops all over the place.
No. Don't assume in the countries that you saw this safety, were there troops on the streets?
As I told you, if you live in like they did in El Salvador, they took out a $100 billion loan. Let me land my plane. They took out
El Salvador. Stay in the Nordic countries in Japan.
Excuse me. I'm telling you how you go from high crime to low crime. El Salvador was one of the highest crime areas in the world a few years ago. Bukele borrowed something on the order of $100 million just for arms. And then he declared a martial law. He gave all the troops automatic weapons, and they swept the country. They already had identified who all the criminals were, and they simply removed them from society.
To break your handle on the cleaning function of your oven, so that you can put it in cleaning mode.
El Salvador. They're on vacation, and
you missed the part about him bribing.
You will not be harmed.
You missed the part about him bribing the gangsters to stop.
You could not do that 5 years ago.
You missed the part about
it's like containment of terrorism prison. It's a gulag that they put all the prisoners in. That is how they established order and safety, so they can have a prosperous, wealthy country someday in El Salvador. But you have to start by removing terrorist criminals.
Removing Bill of Rights. Yeah, you have to start by removing Bill of Rights. We get it.
You can call it whatever you want. Still have due process in the United States.
We'll see.
We have more than that. We have a 10th Amendment. We have posse comitatus. We have a lot.
But, people want to do, I think, I don't know if it was you. Yes, I think it was you in the previous room. I was in a very strange argument, but, you can say that it's a very strange argument, but, you can say that it's an overreach to send in the troops, and I would have tended to.
Well, if you read Marcus Aurelius, you realize it's more than just a technological problem. It is a character problem. There's just a lot of
that too. Yeah, that's just But that's a completely separate issue. But you're right, that's a fundamental one too. Again, it's how we form our identity. That's really what this is, and that's done with language.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You got a little baby, and the moment it's born, they start training it, just like we do large language models. They start yakking at it, and after a while, I showed up, and you showed up, and people show up after a sufficient amount of training. You know, it's pretty interesting.
Listen to this one verse from Aurelius. He writes, it's one of my favorite verses. He says, "And to say all in a word, everything which belongs to the body is a stream, and what belongs to the soul is a dream and vapor, and life is a warfare, and a stranger's sojourn, and after fame is oblivion. What then is that which is able to conduct a man? One thing and one only, philosophy. But this consists in keeping the daemon within a man free from violence and unharmed, superior to pains and pleasures, doing nothing without purpose, nor yet falsely and with hypocrisy."
Oh, is that all it takes?
Well, that's the one thing about Clubhouse is you could be purposeless here if that's the purpose, but most people come here with no purpose, objective, or goal.
Well, yeah, of course, most people are a bunch of brain-damaged language monkeys. They're totally entranced by the voice in their head. There's not even anybody there most of the time. You're talking to an empty language machine most of the time. Not always, but
That's
you
what
gotta
the
be on
that's what the judicial system is like. Have you ever I had to talk to this judge. It's like talking to a stone wall.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You have. I mean, I'm still working on how do you deal with that, because I mean, some people really are impenetrable, and the sooner you realize that, then the strategy changes. You know, just get the fuck out of there as quickly as possible. Yeah, these are interesting times, aren't they?
I don't know. I mean, the now is all there's ever been. So when you read Aurelius, you're like, oh, well, those were interesting times. What's the difference between then and now? Nothing, because everything he says
is the difference. It's not the difference. The is one of the problems in language, but it's certainly a difference. A total game changer.
Yeah, speed and then quantity.
And all the technology, computer, the fact you and I are talking to one another, that I have friends that I communicate with regularly all over the planet. Ideas are spreading from person to person all over the planet.
You know, what's ridiculous is that we are rejecting the internet and rejecting cell phones in terms of our education and communication. You know, teachers should say, okay, everybody, pull out your cell phone. We're going to be creative. You know, open up your Instagram and we're going to do this. We're going to film.
Well, obviously. Yeah, again, the education system gave us Trump. So, our education system is a complete utter failure and unnecessary, and we don't really need it anymore. What we need are conscious parents who know how to raise a child and how to use the available resources.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the education system is really unnecessary.
Well, I'm going to a college tomorrow, and their enrollment is through the roof, the highest they've ever had. 22,000 students.
What school is this?
Illinois State.
Okay, the highest. And what are the students taking? Probably computer stuff, right?
He said that their nursing program has grown significantly.
Okay, so practical programs. Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, those have always done pretty well. But people still think, well, you're saying everything always going to be really weird to see just how much of an impact AI and robotics has on. We are 2025. Earth is in the midst of a transformation like it hasn't seen in millions of years. We'll get through this, or we won't. It's really simple.
I mean, what do you think about the saying that there's nothing new under the sun and everything that has been has already been? So technically, there's nothing new really happening here, other than maybe the cell phone.
That's bullshit. If you really are, I'm not going to seriously do it, but if you take the proposition that's made there and start analyzing it, the whole fuck. And And I'm basically I'm here to subvert you. I'm here to recruit you. Yeah, and basically I'm here to subvert you. I'm here to recruit you as an Earthling. Yeah, you could be very useful. Especially in the
That's what Epstein told his victims.
I'm sorry, what?
That's what Jeffrey Epstein told all his victims.
Told them what?
Well,
where do you come up with this shit, man?
Well, they had a press conference of all of Epstein's. I think that it's something else.
People are just a bunch of brain-damaged language monkeys. Get over it. There's nobody home. They're large language models. They're just running their scripts and responding to the prompts they get. That's it. That's what's going on.
It's true, isn't it?
Seriously. Entirely entranced by the voice in their head.
You know, there's really, I've worked in digital advertising for a lot of years, and the advertiser can't exist without the publisher or the consumer, and the publisher can't exist without the advertiser and the consumer, and to net a profit.
Explain this to me. I just don't give a shit. Fuck that.
Well, it deals with the situation. Well, you know what will remain the same in the new world is a username and a password. I'm only saying that because Google, is the world's communication advertising network. It's the world's communication advertising network. It's the largest in the planet, but it requires a username and a password to access.
Oh, I don't know. That's true. We don't know anything about what the new format's going to be. I mean, obviously, yeah. If you've never seen Meta, it's in the midst of this transformation, and you can imagine all you want about what's going to happen, but you don't know. The only reason I'm spending any time talking to you now is that I didn't really realize this before, but actually I'm here. I'm announcing that I'm trying to recruit you. I want you to be an underground agent.
Well, that's like the time I went to the bar and I said, "Hey, will you sign my petition?" And the guy pulls out a petition. He says, "Sure, if you sign my petition." I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, "What are you getting signatures for?" He says, "I've been doing this 20 years. I get judges put on the bench." I was like, "Wow, these lazy fuckers, who get into power. It's a business."
The old system is just irrelevant. That's not going to work. Again, the way we've been doing things has worked for the last 200,000 years pretty well. It's only started to break down in the last century or so. I mean, science and all that. Anyway, technology basically is, and I don't see anybody talking about it. Everybody thinks this is just politics as usual. No, this is the end of an era of human history and the beginning of a new era of human history. This isn't politics.
Well, Marcus Aurelius, being social and being political.
Well, it depends what you mean by social and political. I mean, you got to define your terms.
I think
in some sense, everything is political. There's no escaping that. Everything is political.
Right. I mean, words.
So at that point, the word political becomes meaningless.
Well, then it becomes. Well, that's why it becomes social, meaning that if it's good for the group.
Well, whatever. We can make up any stories we want, and some of them are, more useful than others, but they're just language stories that we make up.
Well, the thing about the word is, I got kicked out of words are programming. What do you think sport is? It's all words.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I've been saying. We are large language models.
Yeah.
Extremely large. In fact, what's the name of this room? Yes, that's the thing. That's right. That's the room we're in. That's what we are. That's not what I am. That's what's going on inside my head. The crucial thing is to understand that what's going on in my head, the language machine, isn't me. That's just my language machine, my large language model running its scripts and shit and responding.
Well,
I'm the one who's observing it and prompting it. That's a big difference. But I didn't know that until recently.
Yeah, well, I mean, with that perspective, there's really nothing to worry about in many ways.
Well, of course, no, you're right. If Earth is a healthy organism, then there's nothing to worry about. It's going to go through this transition just fine. The issue really is, because metamorphosis is a pretty messy process. It's pretty hard on the caterpillar.
But you can't actually say what that transition is.
Well, no, we have no idea, really. I mean, we can all guess. I mean, certainly it has something to do with computers and AI and stuff. It's all just, a story that I'm making up. I don't know what's going to happen. Metamorphosis is the best model I can find, in science, or embryology in general. I mean, humans go through a series of transformations from a single cell into a developed organism, and very much like metamorphosis. So that's a good model, anyway, to apply to the planet, but it's just a metaphor.
Well, have you ever seen the opera Metamorphosis?
No.
It doesn't deal with... so there's other components.
It probably wasn't a comedy, though, I guess.
No, it was an opera.
Well, love is a reification. It's a noise. It's three phonemes. And what people mean by that noise is vastly different from one person to another and from the same person from day to day or moment to moment. Love, there's no such thing. It's just a noise, but it's related to a whole bunch of really subtle emotional kind of things going on in language. So it's important, but see, this is this whole thing about reifications and substantive nouns that English speakers are totally unaware of. We haven't been taught that. It's pathetic.
Yeah, a lot of it is cultural, right? Because like in India, they do arranged marriages, so it's
raising children and stuff. But yeah, it's based on a whole different understanding of everything. Yeah, I don't think that. Well, yeah,
it's crazy. I know, but love is crazy.
Well, human beings are a bunch of brain damaged language monkeys. We've been entranced for the last 300,000 years, and it worked pretty good. It got us this far. And now it's time for a system upgrade because it ain't going to get us any further. The way we've been thinking is simply toxic and insufficient in the present world.
It's like, it's kind of boring.
What about that movie is where we want to go?
Meaning that we take the violence out of mankind. See, that movie deals with being brain in a way, and then it's just a stupid, really old idea that there's some conflict between machine intelligence and biological intelligence. We can partner very nicely. Mm-hmm. Well, they use drugs in that movie
this can be helpful, yes.
But they use the drugs to essentially put you into a zombie worker state, as opposed to like an artist or a.
It's up to us, and whatever we like. I say, I'm assuming Earth is healthy, and that the whole system. I mean, how would I be expected to understand how this shit actually works? I don't. All I can assume is that this is the way it's supposed to be working, and that it's all going to come out okay in the next 20 years or so. I think that's the time frame I'm operating on anyway.
I mean, my only critique of this thesis about some kind of Earth transition is most likely just a reference to the now, meaning that nothing's going to change.
You've got your own way of talking about time, that you've developed from all of this stuff. I don't really understand exactly the way you're using these terms. So I just don't see a problem there. This is all pretty easy for me. So we'll be perfect at every step of the way. It's always perfect, yes.
Oh,
but it's not the same. This isn't the same world. Whatever, yeah.
Well, if it's timeless information, that means.
Well, no, it's not timeless information. Again, this too. Oh, okay. All right. So you've got some people who were there. Oh, good. How many people are there listening? You have people listening to this?
It's just a video live stream, so audio and video.
And you can do audio. I mean, you don't need to use the video, obviously. Okay.
No, you can't.
Can you do
Yeah,
that
you
for
can.
free, or do you have to have a paid account to do that?
No, it's free. You just have to have 50 subscribers.
Oh, okay. And how do you get subscribers if you don't have
Content? Yeah, you got to have content up.
You know.
Your Gendo has a lot of, like, I think I told you one time, I was like, man, I'm going to read his whole thing into an audiobook for him and send it to him as a surprise. But then, like, he should do it, You should put it on YouTube.
Well, no, I'll just get an AI to do it.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be great.
That's my intention. All my stuff, I'm building. I mean, I'm started building it because it'd be easy to build this 2 years from now, and it'd be difficult right now. And I don't really need it right now. But I'm going to build my own, small language based on my bibliography, all the books I've read, all the stuff I've written, all the podcasts I've done, all my journal notes, all of that shit is going to be in my small language model.
I came across an Alan Watts video where somebody took Alan Watts' voice, put it into an AI simulator, and they had him read the Beijing.
Yeah.
It's really pretty amazing.
Yeah. Good old Alan. 45 minutes and longer. And the idea of them as entertainment just offends me.
Well, he says he's an entertainer. He says he's an entertainer. He says he's shaman.
I know he says he's an entertainer. He is an entertainer. But he's also a teacher.
Yeah.
And a revolutionary.
Yeah. A peaceful revolutionary.
Yes.
That's the ones that I think have the longest impact. I mean, because communication is the program. So he succeeded.
Is what we need. The problem is the people. We got a planet full of brain damaged language monkeys. They need to wake the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
That's the majority. But anybody who's curious can wake the fuck up. You just start asking some questions because there's plenty of bullshit that requires some questions.
Yeah, Marcus Aurelius is reading today. He says that people that commit wrongs out of desire is true.
That makes sense. Yeah. Again, he has a unique perspective. None of them are absolute, but they make you think.
Right.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, he's the prompt, and he wrote that book for himself to prompt himself from himself.
Well, you know where they came from. So yeah, they were his journals.
Yeah. A lot of he thanks his teachers for giving him the discourses by epic.
2,000 years ago, there were individuals who were pretty much awake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In a way that similar people are. There have been individuals throughout history, back 2,500 years, Buddha, Jesus, Lao Tzu. There have been these individuals back a couple thousand years, but they were very rare.
It deals so much with psychology. It's unbelievable. And pondering, he in the writings, he's just, it's a thorough analysis of self. It's a pretty remarkable document.
Yeah, it is.
And it will create a clip of that 60 seconds, of the last 60 seconds that are live. It'll put that into what they call the short section. So it allows you to essentially clip along general,
Oh, you mean some dumb fuck people? Yeah.
Well, Timothy Leary, was a genius, but the thing is, you don't want to be unsocial. And I think if you want to improve your, Watts talks about achieving your desires, and if Jesus or Buddha or Krishna or whatever.
What are we talking about here? What are you explaining to me about people?
I guess what I'm trying to say is like how to play the game on the internet and
you know
success.
Better how to do that than I do.
Well, I have no success at it. I'm merely speculating.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, good. Thank you. I have not done it before, but I have done a few things. Yeah, I don't feel lost it all right now. I'm still putting together my own self, and I assume that in the next few months that will be more or less complete, and then I will formulate my plan. I'm getting close to that, but I don't know exactly what it's going to be.
Yeah, my friend, he told me, he's like, talk is cheap, get to work. And I wrote, petitions are expensive with a clock emoji, because it's not about money, it's about time. How do you find the time to achieve what you need to achieve? I mean,
well, with money, you can
speed it up,
other people's time to do it.
Yeah.
That's how money works.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, yeah. Yeah. Which is unfortunate, because there's just not enough time. See, that's the thing, is that this system, which is, you could say, is breaking, cracking, falling apart. I mean, even if it gets destroyed, it's like burning a field down. It's in the roots. It's just going to grow right back.
No,
So,
I doubt it. No, it's not going to grow back.
Why do you say that? I don't understand why that analogy doesn't hold up.
Well, it's an analogy that you picked out of somewhere. I think.
What's clearing brush?
I think people across generations are fundamentally different. I think people who lived in 1800 and thought and talked and languaged their environment and put them in the middle of today's world, they wouldn't be able to cope with it.
Well, if you listen to people on this app, they talk about the dumbest fucking shit in the world, which is a total waste of time, like Doctor Who.
Yeah, so why do you listen to that? Don't you have better things you could do with your brain than to listen to a bunch of brain-damaged language monkeys talking about irrelevant bullshit?
Well, it doesn't cost me anything. It's just
it costs
passive.
You your time.
Well, I guess
time is the only thing that you have.
Well, leisure, being, Watts talks about, he says, in the age of leisure, the problem is most people can't figure out how to fight boredom and how to fight loneliness.
Yeah, but we haven't reached that. We'll deal with that when we get there. Okay. We're not in the age of leisure yet. I mean, a few of us are, but that's rare. Most people are struggling for survival, even if they've got $10 million in the bank.
Well, if robots and AI take over, and that becomes the status quo, and they do a minimum basic income, like you said, people will practice being artists, and they'll have to pick up the tools.
They'll have to figure out what they're going to do with their lives, but that's a great opportunity. Art, sports, travel, dance, science. I mean, God, whatever the hell turns you on, you can do it. Yeah, that's the world. That's the world I want to create. I think we have that within reach. That's the world I want to create. We should probably not have to work more than a couple of weeks a year. There ought to be kind of a draft or something. Because there's going to be some work that really does require people who know what they're doing, and that could be done in a kind of draft. But so you'd have to go maybe 2 weeks a year and go do something that only a human can do. And then you're done for the year.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah, that seems doable. And with AI managing resources on a planetary scale, and the end of capitalism, we can all live like millionaires. The kind of civilization that is possible is it's really up to our imagination. We can do almost anything we want.
Yeah, it's ridiculous to say that it's the end of capitalism, though, because we don't live in capitalism. I mean, if we did,
whatever the system that's in place now, I don't care what you call it. No, you're right. Corporate capitalism is because capitalism, like individual capitalism, there really isn't any problem. If you've got a skill, you can make things out of wood, maybe, and you might be willing to trade that with me for some. So I can see individual capitalism is not a problem. It's corporate capitalism that has to come to an end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was corrected a couple weeks ago. I said, so is America just the new communist Soviet states of America? Are we just the Soviet Empire? And he's like, no, we're a corporate fascist state. I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. This is a corporate fascist state.
Yeah. Well, again, this is the end stage. America had its 75 years of greatness or whatever it was for a while, and that's over. And we better manage it. We better realize it, and instead of having it,
But
fall out of the blue.
Things only worked out though because we are protected by all of our perimeter by a massive ocean, and we swept in at the tail end of a multi-year fucking World War I, World War II, and we dominated a weakened Europe, and as a result, we have been able to profit with our dollar in a way that
World War II, destroyed America along with everything else. It killed our hearts. We became money-hungry assholes, and
we filled a vacuum.
Overwhelmed by our success.
We filled a vacuum, and the rest of the world just went with it because there was no other alternative than to succumb to the vacuum.
I'm saying that was the time America had its time, and it's over.
Well, see, China, is not the. I mean, if you look at India and China together as a block, which is 2.5 billion
no,
people.
That's not a block. They're different. But China is for the future, for the next 10 years anyway. I mean, they got their problems. They're going to collapse too. But for the next 10 years, that's where the energy is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what I wanted to do after college was go to China and integrate into China because I knew that that's where the real end state and real growth is. Like America is a decaying radioactive,
it's over. It's over for America. China has spent the last 30, 40 years educating its youth. That they produce something like 10 times the STEM students than America does. They've educated their youth for 40 years.
You mean they don't have?
And they've invested in their infrastructure. Look at their cities from the air; they're beautiful.
You mean they don't have trans shooters shooting up their churches?
I don't know. I haven't heard about that.
See, America is fucked on all fronts. Like every single category is fucked.
It's over. America had its time. It's over. But again, nobody. That's just heresy to even say this out loud.
But see, if it's over, then that also implies a new beginning.
Not worth talking to. Except the thing is, you can't really tell when you're talking to a human whether they're really just a brain damaged language monkey or whether there's somebody there. So you have to give them a shot. You have to listen to them for a couple of minutes and find out whether there's anybody there or not. But usually there isn't. But sometimes there is. That's really encouraging.
Well, from like a filmmaker's perspective, having so many variables amongst people and having such a variety of people is useful.
I'm not a filmmaker. I use AI as an assistant for my thinking process. I don't give a shit about making movies.
Well, I'm just saying that recording the cast of characters is an option. And
well, listen, you're sick. You're infected with some bullshit.
Maybe I'm sick, but what I'm saying is I'm actually doing the opposite of what you're doing, which is you're doing the hermit, and you use this as your outpost for meditation or for controlled communication.
Being a hermit means I live alone. It doesn't mean I'm avoiding society. It means I'm choosing my actions carefully.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm a hermit because I live alone with my dogs. I do go out occasionally to various meetups and things, but that doesn't mean I'm not engaged. I'm fully engaged and ready for action.
You know what Indra's web is?
Well, all of the reflections and all that stuff, you mean?
Mm-hmm. Its concept emphasizes dependent origination, interpenetration, showing that nothing exists in isolation.
So what? Percent of what's going on is an utter, complete fucking waste of time and energy and just toxic as hell and should be avoided. And you're reveling in it. Good luck.
Well, people, Seinfeld was the #1 show on the planet at one point. Jerry's Worth a Billion, Larry's Worth a Billion. How is that show the most popular show of all time? Because A, it deals with comedy.
Listen, John, I don't want to hear all this shit. Really, I think we're done for the evening.
Okay, well,
I don't need to understand why fucking Seinfeld was about your now story. I've heard that story. I know that story.
It's the basis of all.
You're just using it as a crutch.
It's not a crutch.
Anywhere.
I'm just.
But you're welcome to come back tomorrow and we'll start again and see how much I can take before I get rid of you.
Okay, this has been In the Muff. Okay, this is chillism.
Was white working on the floor, like meaning like the interaction between you and the customer, and then all the people that was like in the back, working the back, coming out, they were all like Hispanic and black. I was like, that's fucking crazy. That's not, you can't make that shit up. But it was horrible. I don't know why people like to do this and go to this type of thing.